Ape Escape 3 is yet another in Sony's long line of first-party platformers that involve you taking a net, running around, catching a bunch of monkeys. The series started on the PlayStation, and over the years, it's had its kind of side ventures here and there. For the most part, the whole premise of the game has been you, crazy spiky-haired anime hero of one name or another. You got a net, there are crazy monkeys running around, you gotta catch them all. There's no real radical changes to the formula in Ape Escape 3. It's basically the same thing you've been doing all along. But there are some new abilities, a whole bunch more content, some mini games, and basically just a much tighter and bigger package than it's ever been before. The mechanics of the Ape Escape games are, sort of unique in the platformer universe in that you don't really use the main controller buttons all that much. It's the basic controls sort of are relegated more to the analog sticks and the trigger buttons. You jump with the R1 and R2 buttons, and then you use the left analog stick to kind of move around, and the right analog stick to use whatever weapon you have in your hand. So if you got like your monkey net, chasing around a monkey, you press it forward, press it to the side, whatever. Your hero will sort of do basically the net motion and catch the monkey. It's a pretty tight and fun control scheme, and it lends itself to sort of the weirdly chaotic nature of the game, in that you are constantly running around trying to chase down these crazy monkeys that are either trying to attack you or just running away from you. And that in and of itself is just a whole lot of fun, because these monkeys are crazy, they're kooky, they're weird, they're wild. They got nutty costumes on, sometimes they have weapons like Uzis for some reason. And in some cases, the monkeys are so aggressive that they'll actually take your weapons from you. There's nothing more humiliating in this world than actually getting caught with your own monkey net and having it go to a game over screen. Fortunately, there's a lot more abilities you can use in this game, and they're all pretty good for the most part. You still get a bunch of crazy gadgets like the monkey net and the crazy monkey detector radar and the little helicopter thing that lets you traverse, long gaps, and then there's the crazy hula hoop thing that lets you run fast and do more damage. All sorts of weird gadgets like that. There's also these kind of strange forms that you can take on from time to time by building up this meter that sort of goes above your life bar. By pressing down the R1 and the R2 buttons at the same time, you can sort of select one of these different forms that you earn as you go through different stages. There's a bunch of different ones, like there's one where you're a cowboy and you've got guns. You can just sort of shoot by pressing the right analog stick forward, or like shoot a crazy monkey net out of the gun by pressing down the R3 button. There's another one where you just sort of control this genie for some reason, and if you sort of like loop the right analog stick around a couple of times, the genie will start dancing, and then anything that gets in the path of the genie starts dancing with it, making it easier to catch monkeys and stuff. It's all bananas. Most of the flaws in Ape Escape 3 are sort of inherent to the fact that it really isn't remarkably different from Ape Escape 2. It's just a tighter, more refined version of that game with more abilities, more stuff to unlock, that kind of thing. But for the most part, the game isn't really that much changed. The whole atmosphere of the game is still that sort of really kind of hyperactive anime thing, and that can actually get a little annoying in spots because the voice acting is just super hammy and the translations aren't always that great. So, while there's some unintentional, or maybe it's intentional, who knows, kind of hilarity to be had there, it can be a little bit much. Apart from the fact that it's not really all that different from the last couple of Ape Escape games, it is easily the best one simply because it has the most to offer out of all of them. Ape Escape 2 had a lot of unlockable content, but Ape Escape 3 has even more. There's a bunch of crazy mini games, like one that's sort of like a hammer throw, but you got a monkey and you're tossing another monkey. And then there's like a Metal Gear Solid sort of inspired one where you're kind of sneaking around as a monkey that thinks it's Snake. There's also all sorts of artwork and stories and movies and music and just all kinds of stuff that you can just unlock. Well, a lot of games sort of get knocked for just kind of providing more of the same as the sequels go on and on. Ape Escape 3 kind of gets around that trapping simply because it's still a whole lot of fun just to kind of do the same sorts of things you've been doing in the previous games in the series. The whole monkey catching aspect never gets old. There's just so much content to unlock and kind of, play through. And, you can just go back and play through a lot of these stages over and over again and still have fun with it. So if you liked any of the previous games in the Ape Escape series, or you're a newcomer and just like platformers, want to try something different, Ape Escape 3 is a great way to go.